Hello everyone, my name is Maria and welcome to the channel. Today we continue playing Not for Broadcast, a game about politics, mass media, journalism and other interesting things in the world. This is day 232, The Silence. So it's more than 6 months since Advance started being the main government party.
No, it won't be all right, Kath. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound it.
I mean it, Kath.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to Buxman.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week.
Is Megan calling the shots all of a sudden?
Jenny?
I'm sorry, Kath, you're going to have to leave.
So something definitely happened during this time.
Letting it go to your head.
She nearly blinded me.
10 seconds,
I
everybody!
thought we were all part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
Sorry,
high and mighty
5,
and do your job.
4,
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me. Good evening, I'm Megan Wolfe.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing.
I don't think
and even
people
some
would
medicine.
like that.
But how should we react? We asked the public.
What are your reaction to the sanctions?
I think it's fucking outrageous. My mom needs insulin. Am I supposed to get her transitioned? What's the government doing about it, eh?
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Got it.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks, punishing success and rewarding laziness, that are taking this country.
So other countries are not happy with what's going on in ours.
My wife Iris.
I think it's mostly about transition centers and things like that.
Over to you, fellas. Global mega corporation Remington's Fist today announced that trials have successfully completed on their groundbreaking male contraceptive product, Responsibility.
The drug has been passed by the government for general release, but the small print warns that, in rare cases, side effects can include blurred vision, enlarged...
After her toys, I'm not sure.
No double entendre intended.
But what do you, the public, think of Sophia Remington's latest venture? Patrick?
Would you take the male contraceptive pill?
No, mate. Her body, her baby, her problem.
How progressive of you.
That's not what I wanted to choose.
A momentary lapse of reason.
I wanted him to talk about side effects.
Themselves somewhat bemused by the latest stunt by controversial protest group Disrupt.
In a baffling start to the day, commuters found performers outside every major station, all dressed and posed identically. Whether we're supposed to be amused or intimidated is anybody's guess, Jeremy, but most commuters didn't even stop to notice.
Well, as long as it's not some grand contemporary dance, it's probably harmless.
But how do we all feel about Disrupt and their eclectic tactics?
We don't know anything, so we can't feel anything.
Feelings about Disrupt?
It's all a bit noisy for me, really. As Mother always said, leave the rebelling to the rebels, Malcolm.
Bubbling up, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and Dr. Ingrid Svorsborg-Hawkinsford today sent a blueprint of the escape craft in which they hope to finally leave Dante's taint.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut from optimistically engineered to that looks
why
like
not?
something my granddad made in his shed, it sounds like the unfortunate team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
So I'd imagine that you think this is a great plan.
Oh my god! How did you know? It's a brilliant idea! I hope everyone gets behind them so that they know that we're with them. In spirit, of course.
I hope
I
they're
can't
gonna be
actually go
okay.
diving because I'm scared of assault.
Sure.
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, vitally, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards.
Oh yeah, fantastic. I'm applying today. I mean, why wouldn't you? What are these protesters doing? They don't want us to know who their names are. Besides, have you seen the savings you can get? I'm getting one for the little one as well.
How adorable.
Yeah.
But government already knows your name.
Yes, he smiled. He smiled.
And finally tonight, back of the net, popular sports personality Johnny Hamsleeves and his fiancée Tiffany Lamour were spotted out today doing a little shopping for what many are already calling the greatest wedding ever.
We can only assume that Tiffany's latest show, My Teenage Secretions, has sold better than expected, as by the looks of things...
But how do they have so much money? I thought we don't have rich people here anymore.
What should your opinion be of this extravagant display of wealth?
Disgusting.
Wise words there.
Later tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper J-Zuss. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
So they gave Jeremy culture spot. As I understand, it's not good, because like he's the news anchor and he definitely was the main one last time. I wanna see what they're talking about now. I hope I don't forget.
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
It's a great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard or labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay.
Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, and we have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah?
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, vote thing, yeah? But it's actually the Festival of Furelands here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, we all had to look our grandparents clean, yeah, whilst the vote was happening, and that's a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man? Is like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than
So
grinding
I'm not
people's
sure.
gears. The more publicly,
These
the
countries
better.
proposed
You're
sanctions.
like man with tiny penis, who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. It can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have like serious animal welfare legislation. And like my friend Helga, she got arrested for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker too. I wonder what became of her.
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
That's human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Christ, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis.
Why is
and
he
being full of
obsessed with
secrets.
genitals?
In Svenland, we don't really go in for all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and power outages.
Possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Bjerk?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit...
So Megan is
stupidly
censoring
arguing about
Jeremy a
outdated
little
devices,
bit.
Concepts like money. In Svenland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s,
Ew.
and that's like really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Votovic.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant Newton hairy bear. When really he just standing in field
Holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here,
Sure.
Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back
after these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
Oh, wait. Another one from
About
Advance.
the future. This territory is changing fast, and that makes other countries uncomfortable. But that won't stop us. And we intend to make sure that in these challenging times, every citizen gets their fair share of the abundant, nutritious food we grow right here in the territory.
This is important. New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring.
Got it.
Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
And no one will be left behind. So you can carry on coming together to enjoy life and make wonderful memories. Because we've shown our international friends what's possible when we all pool our resources and come together in a sense of team spirit.
Yeah, all of this sounds freaking familiar. You know, abundance of our own food, we don't need anybody, government censorship, yada yada. Got it.
5 and 10 seconds.
He put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome J-Zuss.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course,
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem.
All right, this is not true.
Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah. Nah, of course, man.
He was
Very
never
much so. I just mean,
homeless.
like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah. I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice?
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of a
Or maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs.
Amazing.
Lovelace Tears.
Oh no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah. You love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system.
So for now, I'm gonna censor some things
With a new song.
because we are apparently under advance. It seems like.
You're gonna pay You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still 2 leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes, I don't need your freaky team. And I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Get every single one of you's a bit J-Zuss. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of of the praise, of the crest of the wave. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take his facts, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clement's motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snub ones, the push and the shove ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, of the crest of the waves. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clement's motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets. Set a fire in the building, let him feel some fucking heat. Take your hate to go getters, the squilling bed getters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clement's motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team. And advance his little dances aren't as harmless as it seems. Cause they're stale and corrupt, then your anger erupt. Let your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
This song is so good.
J-Zuss there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What?
Sorry.
Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ad.
Just a reminder, fixing that old VCR.
No, it's ridiculous. Who's
Last ad break.
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust
leave
me.
it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
So first of all, of course, yes, he has a father and we can see that he's probably quite influential. And, oh, okay, this is our company, but I got distracted. So the important thing here is that now we have government censorship, and to be honest, the fact that Jeremy told everyone about it, I think is very important, because now our public knows that we're censoring things. And according to Megan's reaction, we can see that we are under advance. In some sense, at least.
Harris, and this is Ms. Radin.
What?
Philippa, please.
You're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Okay, got it.
Sorry.
Thanks. Cheers. What is she doing?
5.
Oh,
4.
These two.
3.
Welcome back, and no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Radin, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris, Jesus, that was hard.
It's catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. But you're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
Wow. Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show?
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
What is this?
You'll never take the sacred pass!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, was actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale. Yeah.
Which, frankly, would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Goodness, and you do this every night?
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that
Why?
incredible, Jeremy?
Yes. It's unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey,
Interesting.
We must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Oh.
All right. Interesting. So we can see that Megan is clearly trying to stay on the good side of Advance, and Jeremy doesn't try to do that. Sorry. A+, this is amazing. So we're gonna get some money. What is our status? Can afford coffee. Incredible. Wonderful. Advanced disrupt. How did I support disrupt? I don't remember. But alright. I mean, so now we're getting some opposition, which is a good thing. It's always a good thing to have opposition, you know, even when the government is someone you support. It means that there is another point of view and it is healthy, it is good for society. So let's see. The silence pre-roll. Yeah, I think we had something there. Yeah, we've seen this,
God, I'm
but I think there was something else. Alright, here.
That's the titles.
I'm gonna go check my makeup.
Funny there was someone to do it for you.
She's not your enemy.
Is it you then?
No, it's Bannon. He's been sending coded messages to Bozeman after every show.
Of course, it's the only credible solution.
You must be very disappointed.
Yes, until now I thought of him as a son I'd never had.
I prefer you like this. Going in 10 seconds.
What did I miss?
I'm sorry I snapped at you.
Oh.
Particularly squeeze my arms today, wasn't it?
3.
So basically we can see that they are quite friendly, but he is very disappointed with her recent behavior. Because I think we all know that censorship is a very dangerous thing, and I think Jeremy just wants to show all sides of the story. He wants to show both the opposition and the leading, you know, party. So let's see what else is here. What is this? Eye of the Beholder, right? Acide gastrique. Oh my god.
Tired of dull and lifeless hair? Fed up of dry and brittle split ends? Then say hello to acide gastrique.
This is so scary.
The Provitamin formula is a deep fortifying, intensive treatment that repairs and protects hair for irresistible shine. Only acide gastrique contains an organic blend of ingredients that penetrate deep into your hair, breaking down citrulline and glycogen for hair that looks and feels healthier. Acide gastrique. Acide gastrique nourishes from root.
She's gonna be without hair next time, right? Responsibility? What?
Hi, I'm Sophia Remington, CEO of Remington's Fist, and I haven't had children, not yet anyway. But it doesn't take a parent to tell you that what a child needs is to be wanted and loved. Sadly, however, these days this sort of conversation happens far too often.
Remington's Fist, Remington's Fist.
So, you know, Brad, this past fortnight has really been amazing, but I'm afraid I have something to tell you. I'm pregnant.
But how could that be? You told me you're on the pill.
Not all contraception is 100% reliable, so I guess now we have to get married.
But we've only been on 5 dates. I don't even know you, Julie.
Janet.
Marriage and children seem to be a pretty big decision to make in a wine bar, Janet.
There has to be a better way. Now there is, young lovers. Now you can be doubly safe with these. This is Responsibility, the world's first male contraceptive pill. Now men don't have to worry about difficult things like commitment anymore. In our almost entirely successful human trials, we found
Almost entirely successful. Girl, after the
that
toys.
there are only occasional side effects. So I'm allowed to say they're safe to take. Responsibility. Because children shouldn't be by accident. And let's face it, condoms suck.
Wonderful. Okay, this Sophia Remington is so fun, and she's so pretty, by the way. I like her a lot, but can she stop making questionable products? Let's see what else we have here. Day 242. A ladder worth climbing. Is it about a promotion? It's a lazy Sunday afternoon in summer, with you and Sam making the most of both kids being out of the house. You bend your head coming out of the cupboard with the last 2 slices of homemade cake. It used to be much easier when you could store things in the pantry. It's rare for you and Sam to actually get to finish sweet things in this house, and you savor every moment. Just as you take your last bite, you hear the sound of the front door slamming. That will be Charlie back from the Go-Getters. Okay. You can hear him practically running to come find you, and he's grinning from ear to ear when he finally does. I have some really big news. You and Sam play along, sitting attentively with bated breath. Ready? Charlie asks, as you both nod enthusiastically. With a flourish, he reveals a new badge from his pocket and proudly presents to you both to examine as he announces, "As of today, I'm a member of the first year of Cohesion Cadets. There is way more stuff I'm gonna be doing, and I'll be working some weekends, but it's really cool." Sam congratulates Charlie as you can't help but frown. This seems a big step up for teenagers. You and Sam grin back at your son. You're thrilled that he's happy and doing well. Okay, let's think. This is kinda promotion, but we were hinted that they might be brainwashing our kid. I don't think that we will stop him now, so I will try to have good relationship with him, so when we disagree, he will listen. Hopefully this strategy is gonna be successful. I don't know, but we will see. Cadet. So they're preparing some force, right? A grown-up child. You've always had dinner as family for the important events, and tonight is no exception. Charlie ostensibly resents not being able to go to his friend's house this evening, but you can tell he's happy to be with you, really. That's amazing. It'll be the last time you're going to be together for a while. So far, you've even managed to avoid fighting with Susie over politics, something Sam is no doubt grateful for. With her exams and your work, you've not seen much of Susie lately. I hope we can fix that. Of course, it's especially nice having your mom here. She and Susie were always close. Seeing your daughter step up and help out with your mother has been heartwarming. So, Alex, I believe you had a few words, Sam pointedly asks, nodding towards Susie. Your daughter cocks an eyebrow with a quizzical expression, and you can't help but see a little of yourself in it. Aw, that's kinda cute. What's this about? Susie asks, laughing as she takes a drink of her champagne adjacent sparkling wine. Sam made a point this afternoon that it was a big day and that you should all just be celebrating her achievement. So, our little Susie. Come on, honey, we're waiting, Sam says softly. You're not going to go off about the government again, are you? You're like a broken record, Susie smiles at you, a twinkle in her eye. I just wanted to say we're proud of you. Well done for getting into med school. Yes, of course this is what we're saying. Oh, Susie's mischievous smile becomes a grin as she gets up, comes round the table and gives you a big hug. I'm going to miss you. You can see Sam start to tear up as they stand and join the embrace. Miss us? Are you going somewhere? A good question. Susie loves breaking the hug. No, you're not getting rid of me yet, but I'll probably have to leave when I get my first posting. Oh, hush now. Let's not talk about that. Sam cuts her off, smiling. The rest of the evening passes as a happy blur. You couldn't be prouder. Yes, our daughter going to medical school? That's amazing. I am proud. A great father, you know? Wait, why am I a father? I don't know, parent. A sign of things to come. Oh, I don't like things like that. Shopping, something that always seemed so tedious before the sanctions, has become even more of a chore now. You managed to get almost everything you needed for the family this evening, but you'll have to come back tomorrow to get through the week. There is a queue to leave the car park, though it's hard to make out why in the dark. Hopefully whatever's causing it won't be too long. As the final car in front of you drives off, you realize the queue is actually due to a checkpoint set up at the exit. A friendly-looking man in an advanced uniform, CCO, emblazoned in a number of places on it, approaches your car and knocks on the driver's side window. You roll it down. Good evening. Nothing to worry about. I was just wondering if I could see your team membership card, please. Weren't these cards supposed to be voluntary? I'm sorry, I don't have one. That's not a problem. We've got forms with us right here, and we are more than happy to sign you up. The man gestures to his colleague behind him, a young woman in a similar uniform. She clearly received the short end of the stick and is stuck with the paperwork. I thought these cards weren't required. Well, strictly speaking, they're not, but there is always loads of benefits to having them, and no reason not to get one. His smile fades a bit, and when he puts a hand up to scratch the back of his neck for a moment, he leans over you, his presence now seeming a little too intimidating. It looks like they are going to be mandatory if now they're checking everyone for them, so I think it's better to get one now while we still have a choice. Because I don't want to angry anyone, because you know, we work at the news, and if this political party doesn't trust us, they will just, you know, fire us and hire someone else, and I still want to have a chance to show the truth when it will really matter. He gestures for his colleague to come over, and she quickly takes down your personal information, employment history, and also that of your family. There is quite a bit more than you were expecting, and the level of detail required is a little surprising too. Still, a few minutes later, you're done, with the promise of your very own team membership card winning its way to you soon. Saves you having to stop in the queue next time. I don't know what's with my reading today, sorry guys. Yep, that's all great things. Don't forget to keep an eye out for the new team lottery starting up soon. Loads of great benefits to be won. You have a nice day now. Free prizes. So are these cards mandatory now? I think they are. I think they are. An invitation worth ignoring. It's a Saturday, one of your few days off, and you've made the most of it. But as late afternoon draws on, the invitation sits pinned to the fridge, staring accusingly at you. The Channel 1 Gala is a mandatory work event. Bozeman was very quick to tell you. Don't you dare be late. So we don't have a birthday, we don't have an anniversary. I think we should go. Yeah. Best start getting ready. You wonder if Sam will give you a lift. A drink or two might help with the enforced office socializing. Hopefully it won't be too bad. After all, you're pretty good at your job, right? Ooh. A national nightly news night. Yeah, that's what's written here. You arrive on time barely at the Sauvignon, one of the oldest and grandest hotels in the capital. You're surprised to see a queue to get in and quickly realize it's because people are being searched at the door by some very military-looking personnel in smart attire. While you're waiting, you can't help but notice just how very opulent the building is, possibly the fanciest place you've been to in your life. You submit to being patted down and, with a sign of relief, are let into the hotel. Once inside, you're directed to the grand ballroom, and following the signs, you marvel at the sheer scale of the place and the amount of armed security guards. When you finally arrive, a very severe-looking woman at the door asks for your name. I'm Alex Winston. She curtly checks her list before whispering something to the waiter beside her. You've made it just in time to be seated before dinner. Please follow Emmanuel here to your table. The waiter smiles at you and opens one of the great double doors, gesturing for you to enter. Immediately, you can see why it's called the Grand Ballroom. You pause for a second to take it all in. You feel a slight tap on your arm. Yeah. It sits you at the table in the central floor area with a decent view of the stage. Clearly, you're in Bozeman's good books at the moment. Wonderful. You're set with your colleagues. One of them informs you far too excitedly it's a very corporate evening of awards and speeches. At least the food should be good. Dinner is indeed lovely, and with the help of the no doubt very expensive wine, conversation flows easily enough. In fact, much for your surprise, you're actually presented with an award for the best newcomer to the Channel 1 family. That's kinda sweet. Alright, he thanks Advance for sponsoring this year's gala. Yeah, Advance is taking control of the news. Before specifically thanking Prime Minister Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement for being in attendance tonight. As you take the stage, you see in front, the frontmost central table does indeed seat the Prime Ministers. That explains all the security. To say a few words. You're a little nervous and splutter out some quick praise for Advance. Thanking Dave for fleeing the country. No, everyone here loves Advance, so we should be, a good employee and say what they want us to say. As you thank Advance, applause breaks out around the room. Both Peter and Julia stand up, magnanimously accepted before saying the night's not about them, but thanks all the same. As you head back to your seat, you see Bozeman nodding at you with a satisfied smile. Wonderful. Alright, just as you're finishing up, as you turn, you see Bozeman walking briskly past with Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement in tow. You're pretty sure he was pointedly ignoring you. He seems to be introducing the Prime Ministers to a selection of people at different tables. Better them than you. You finish off the rest of the meal, listen to the last few words. All in all, it was surprisingly nice evening. Providing Bozeman invites you to that one, of course. Yeah. Oh, that doesn't look good. I mean, this whole thing with Advance, censorship, and so on. Doesn't look good at all. And again, the broadcast, right? And again, at the end of the episode. Yeah, I think it's gonna be the next broadcast. So we will start with it next time. I hope you enjoyed this episode. A lot of interesting things happened, and the next one is gonna be the heat wave, which sounds intriguing. And I hope you have the most wonderful day. See you soon. Bye.